Hello everyone, welcome to Motivaco. In this video, we will talk about 5 ways mindfulness meditation is good for your health. Let's start right away. According to thousands of years of tradition, Buddhists meditate to understand themselves and their connections to all beings. By doing so, they hope to be released from suffering and ultimately gain enlightenment. In recent decades, researchers have been gaining insight into the benefits of practicing this ancient tradition. By studying more secular versions of mindfulness meditation, they found that learning to pay attention to our current experiences and accept them without judgment might indeed help us to be happier. Studies to date suggest that mindfulness affects many aspects of our psychological well-being, improving our mood, increasing positive emotions, and decreasing our anxiety, emotional reactivity, and job burnout. But does mindfulness affect our bodies as well as our minds? Recently, researchers have been exploring this question with some surprising results. While much of the early research on mindfulness relied on pilot studies with biased measures or limited groups of participants, more recent studies have been using less biased physiological markers and randomly controlled experiments to get at the answer. Taken together, the studies suggest that mindfulness may impact our hearts, brains, immune systems, and more. Though nothing suggests mindfulness is a standalone treatment for disease nor the most important ingredient for a healthy life, here are some of the ways that it appears to benefit us physically. 1. Mindfulness is good for our hearts. Heart disease is the leading killer in the United States, accounting for about 1 in 4 deaths every year. So, whatever decreases the risks or symptoms of heart disease would significantly impact society's health. Mindfulness may help with that. In one study, people with prehypertension were randomly assigned to augment their drug treatment with either a course in mindfulness meditation or a program that taught progressive muscle relaxation. Those who learned mindfulness had significantly greater reductions in their systolic and diastolic blood pressure than those who learned progressive muscle relaxation, suggesting that mindfulness could help people at risk for heart disease by bringing blood pressure down. 2. Mindfulness may decrease cognitive decline from aging or Alzheimer's. People tend to lose some of their cognitive flexibility and short-term memory as they age. But mindfulness may be able to slow cognitive decline, even in people with Alzheimer's disease. In a 2016 study, people with Alzheimer's disease engaged in either mindfulness meditation, cognitive stimulation therapy, relaxation training, or no treatment, and were given cognitive tests over 2 years. While cognitive stimulation and relaxation training seemed to be somewhat beneficial in comparison to no treatment, the mindfulness training group had much more robust improvements on cognitive scores than any other group. 3. Mindfulness may improve your immune response. When we encounter viruses and other disease-causing organisms, our bodies send out troops of immune cells that circulate in the blood. These cells, including pro- and anti-inflammatory proteins, neutrophils, T cells, immunoglobulins, and natural killer cells, help us to fight disease and infection in various ways. Mindfulness, it turns out, may affect these disease-fighting cells. In several studies, mindfulness meditation appeared to increase levels of T cells or T cell activity in patients with HIV or breast cancer. This suggests that mindfulness could play a role in fighting cancer and other diseases that call upon immune cells. Indeed, in people suffering from cancer, mindfulness appears to improve a variety of biomarkers that might indicate progression of the disease. 4. Mindfulness may reduce cell aging. Cell aging occurs naturally as cells repeatedly divide over the lifespan and can also be increased by disease or stress. Proteins called telomeres, which are found at the end of chromosomes and serve to protect them from aging, seem to be impacted by mindfulness meditation. Studies suggest that long-time meditators may have greater telomere lengths. In one experimental study, Researchers found that breast cancer survivors who went through MBSR preserved the length of their telomeres better than those who were on a waitlist. However, this study also found that general supportive therapies impacted telomere length, so there may not be something special about MBSR that impacts cell aging. On the other hand, another study with breast cancer survivors found no differences in telomere length after taking an MBSR course, but they did find differences in telomere activity, which is also related to cell aging. In fact, a 2018 review of research ties mindfulness training to increased telomere activity, suggesting it indirectly affects the integrity of the telomeres in our cells. Perhaps that's why scientists are at least optimistic about the positive effects of meditation on aging. 5. Mindfulness may help reduce psychological pain. Of course, while the above physiological benefits of mindfulness are compelling, we needn't forget that mindfulness also impacts our psychological well-being, which, in turn, affects physical health. In fact, it's quite likely that these changes have synergistic effects on one another. First of all, a great deal of research suggests that mindfulness can help healthy people reduce their stress. And thanks to Jon Kabat-Zinn's pioneering MBSR program, there's now a large body of research showing that mindfulness can help people cope with the pain, anxiety, depression, and stress that might accompany illness, especially chronic conditions. For example, drug addictions, at heart, come about because of physiological cravings for a substance that relieves people temporarily from their psychological suffering. Mindfulness can be a useful adjunct to addiction treatment by helping people better understand and tolerate their cravings, potentially helping them to avoid relapse after they've been safely weaned off of drugs or alcohol. The same is true for people struggling with overeating. And that's the discussion in our video this time. If you like this video, click like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this video with the people you care about. See you in the next video.